Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So these right here behind me are the original brake calipers for my Toyota Supra. I have one of the fronts and one of the rears. I've been slowly working towards completing the brake chapter on my build by first deleting the ABS system, second rebuilding the calipers, and now I'm here with the rotors that have caught a lot of rust. Many have told me to just get new ones since these are in bad condition, but just because the surface is slightly rusted does not mean they are no good. So I have decided that I'm going to de-rust these instead. And what I'm going to be using is rust dissolver in spray form, so it makes it easier. So in order for the spray to work efficiently, I must brush off some of the surface rust just so that way the gel can penetrate all the way through, and it does work much more efficiently than not doing so. So let's get started. Right, so I laid out all of the rotors on this plastic film just so I don't make a mess everywhere. I'm going to spray them down one by one, and then I'm going to also use my Ryobi brush. This thing works wonders. Definitely helped me clean a lot of the things underneath the undercarriage of the Supra. So I'm going to be using this as well just to kind of give it a nice little light scrub before I let it sit. Now that the rotors are completely soaked in gel, in the instructions it does say to at least wait 30 minutes. And are you guys curious to see what would happen to a rotor if we left it like that, covered in gel overnight? Well, let me show you right over here. So this is exactly how it ends up looking like. You can see that all the gel just hardened on the surface. It kind of turned into like this crust, and it's interesting because you can see that I did start polishing off some of this crust, and it actually looks fabulous. So I was a little scared because I left it overnight. I just wanted to see, like, hey, you know, get experimental, leave it, it might work out. And if it doesn't, well then, oops, I guess it was not something that I was gonna do ever again. But in this case, it worked out. It actually looks really nice. And then now I'm just curious to just go ahead and polish off the rest of that to see how the entire rotor looks. They look so bad. But I promise it's not gonna look like that for very long. if I keep continuing with this at this rate, I'll never finish. So earlier I went to Harbor Freight and I got one of these, a big boy toy. So now I can be way more efficient and get this done in a timely manner. But mask first. Wouldn't want to inhale all these toxic fumes. Look at that. That thing is horrible. Might have been a lot of extra work, but it was so worth it because look how gorgeous they came out. Look at that. Look at that. Let's show you a close-up. Let's show you a close-up. Look at that. I know that there will be some purists that are watching this YouTube right now and they're going to totally agree that it was probably just better to keep the stock rotors, especially if I'm going to be running the stock brakes and then just have the whole stock OEM setup. There's nothing wrong with the stock brakes, but I do know that in my heart, even when I get the aftermarket brake setup, I am still going to save these and I'm not going to sell them, you know, especially after all this work that I put into them. I'm going to keep them and I'm going to preserve them for a lifetime. So I think they're beautiful. They came out really beautiful. They came out great and better than I expected. I didn't know it was even possible to really remove all of that rust, and I mean they almost look practically brand new, so I'm super happy with the results. And I do still have some time. There's still some sunlight left, even though sun went down already, but there's still some sunlight left. So what I'm actually going to do is, because I already want to prep these onto the axle hub carriers that we see right there, so I'm just going to clean those up a little bit, because as you can see, there's kind of a little bit of I use Rust-Oleum gel on these too, and it didn't wash out too well, so it kind of also kind of calcified. If you see that, it kind of crusted, not like the rotors did, but you can see that I definitely need to polish this off just a little bit. And then I am going to, well, obviously before installing the rotors, I already have my e-brake parts laid out, and I'm going to install those, and then I'm going to put on the rotors. And then the next part of the series is going to be, of course, doing my whole brakes, installing the brakes, brake pad, brake caliper, rotors, so everything, you name it, it's going to go on the car. And I'm one step closer. So let's get started on the e-brake installation. I do have another video, very detailed video. This was not going to be as detailed, but you know, you guys will be able to see some of the work. So alright guys, so first thing is first, I'm going to want to clean all of the e-brake parts with some brake cleaner, just because they were kind of collecting a little bit of dust inside the house, and I think it would be a good idea, especially, even though I'm going to apply a bunch of grease everywhere, but it's still a good idea to clean these up quite a bit. And then that way, they can be in a much better condition, much cleaner condition than they are now. There. So that's how it's supposed to look, guys. So shoe, pin, these little clips, little retainers, they all go in order, but you see how it's supposed to be clipped in. Oh, that thing is a pain in the butt. These, I always struggled with these, always. Yeah, I needed to get some light, because if not, then I was not going to be able to finish at least this side, which is the passenger side. So check. Always double check the parts and the components and make sure that it's all there and it's secured. And oh, there we have it, guys. There we have it. It looks amazing. My job is done. The passenger side is done. I am actually gonna wait probably like about 2 days just so I can gain back the feeling in my fingers because I feel kind of jellyish. So I'm gonna wait for that so then I can go ahead and do the driver's side and then install the rotor. So very last thing before I end this video. Oh my god, look how beautiful it looks. Talk about fully restored, am I right, guys? Oh my god, I'm so excited. Well, that's it for today, folks. That is going to conclude this episode. Stay tuned for the next one. It is going to be the full assembly and putting everything back for the brake parts on the Supra. So I'm excited. But thank you guys so much for watching and have a beautiful night. Peace out.